right, it's Thursday. It's 3 o'clock. We got to get that, take it out back, hook it up to the auger, because in about a half an hour I got a truck coming to get corn. But anyways, yes, it's dark back here because I don't have the back door open. There's no reason to open it, but the sprayer, as you saw, I think in the last video, cleaned up, put away, winterized. Yeah, we pack it in here best we can. Water wagon, same thing, put away. So this is going to be, well, it's not the last of the corn. This will be a full load, and then I think we're gonna have a partial load of corn left to get rid of, and then that'll be the end of 2022's corn crop. Got the employee going in there, as Bill calls her. Oh shit, I gotta go get it.
The shovel's in here.
The shovel's in there. I gotta go get the. You don't need a broom. We just need the leaf blower. This ain't gonna all go on. I gotta go get the leaf blower. I just wanted to be a smart ass and say, look, the employee's going in there because, you know, our buddy Bill, upstate New York there, that no longer is on our channel but likes to talk shit on other channels like Jeff's about me. You know, Barb is just grumpy, treats her like an employee. Yeah. Okay, Bill. Buddy Bill. Alright, we're loading. Takes a little longer with a sweep arm, it's slower. Doesn't run as fast as when it's running right out the center of the, you know, full bore. Boy, it's dusty today too. Good Tuesday morning, July 25th. So as you can see, all the rows of corn are dead, but this headland, not so much. Well, that's my fault again, because when I pulled into the field here, I should have turned the sprayer on and counted to about 5 before I went down the headland. That way the booms would have been charged. So, but you know what? It'll be what it'll be. So, because I'm not pulling the sprayer back out for that. And what little bit of volunteer corn that's there, it'll go through the sprayer, or yeah, sprayer, combine. So let's go look at some crops today, because, you know, according to, well, one YouTube farmer, and I say YouTube farmer because there's a difference between farmers who do YouTube and YouTube farmers. So I'll just leave it at that. But according to one YouTube farmer, you know, farmers just, the majority of farmers just plant their crop and then walk away and don't scout it enough and whatnot. Okay. Well, hell, let's look at these beans while we're right here. As you can see, looking out through there, no volunteer corn. Just that shit down there. These are, oh, knee-high, a little over knee-high most places. All right, for you non-farmers, you can see all the little purple flowers. They're flowering. That means they're going to start making pods. Actually, right there on the very bottom, because they'll make them from the bottom up, is a little pod. The ground is getting very dry again. Yes, we could use some rain again. Yesterday on the radar, yesterday afternoon, huge yellows, reds. Yeah, wasn't even enough in my rain gauge to justify dumping it. Beetle, little fucker, eating holes in leaves. The aphids will get on the bottom of the leaves. You'll just see, you know, lots of little speckles, which we're not seeing. We may get a few, but so far so good. Okay, let's go look at the corn. And as we walk over here to the corn, I just want to point out the fact that, you know, for everybody that was all nervous, oh, your beans are so spotty. Yeah, it was dry. But you know what? They filled in pretty good. Now the spots where you can see it's a little wavy, is because of the later beans that, you know, took so long to come up. Oh, and by the way, here's what I'm using for my scouting tool. My feet. I'll also use the gator in my truck today while we're going around. So this is the field. I don't know how well you can see. There's my house. Obviously there's where I started the field. So this is the field right behind my house. This is a 98-day channel that is looking very good. Obviously it's starting to make ears for you non-farmers. These are the silks. You can call them hairs because even us farmers do. What's gonna happen, and you can see them starting to fall off. I don't want to shake it too hard, but all those will start falling off. They'll fall down. They'll land on these silks, hairs, and that's what's gonna pollinate that ear corn and make all the rows of kernels. So, but this stuff is, I don't know, I'm 5'10". This stuff's 7-8 feet tall. I don't like walking in cornfields because it's itchy, so we're not going in very far. But yeah, but as you can tell, it's pretty nice and uniform. Like I said, they'll start falling down. They land on there. That's how the part. These silks will turn brown. When they start turning brown, the ear will start being bigger looking, and you'll know that it's pollinated. But you can see in the ground here. I mean, I'm not saying we're, you know, desperate, because there's moisture in there, but that's what happens when you start dry. And you got to remember, we were 65 inches below normal for snowfall during the winter. So that's how we came in to the spring. And then yes, we had a fairly wet April, but then we had 1 inch of rain for the whole month of May. June wasn't horrible. So far in July, we've had, it's the 25th, like I said. I think we've had 2.7 inches of rain. As you can see, the brace roots are going. Yeah. So, looking pretty good. Like I said, 98-day channel right here. And this corn has the pivot bio on it, which the pivot bio is some new science that supposedly adds 40 pounds of nitrogen. It's on the seed. I was skeptical because it costs a little more, but it looks really good. I guess we'll find out how good it is when we start harvesting in the fall. Yes, the deer like to come and try and pull the ears off. You get a few of them around the outside of the field. We don't get, I mean, we have a lot of deer here. We don't get massive deer damage like some people think they get. I don't know. Seems if their crop looks shitty, they blame it on animals. But hey, whatever. Now we're using one of my other crop scouting tools, the gator. I gotta mow this shit again. Weeds are getting up there. This is some more 98-day channel. Some more spots where some deer have tried to chew the ear off, the bastards. I'm gonna go up and take a look at the test plot. See what that looks like. And then we're gonna jump in the truck. Here's some beans that I was a little worried about. You can see there's a few thin spots on that headland because it took so long for them to come up because it was so dry. But for the most part, they look pretty damn good. So now we're coming up on the test plot, which that has 21 different varieties in it. And now I don't even know what they are because they never left me a sheet. So I'll know in the fall. They always hand me one. I mean, the headland looks pretty good. Friday. The headland looks a little rough right there because of that. But other than that, it looks real good out here. And then if you recall, this big field, which is one of the first ones I planted, if you go back to that video when I was coming down the pathway to spray this, I showed you that side hill, how thin it looked. Well, it don't look thin anymore because it grew, and it grew nice. This corn looks pretty good. Other than right here underneath this stupid willow tree. Alright, I'll take you. Now we're going to use our other tool called the pickup and drive to some other farms. That ditch right there is starting to get low. Yeah, it's weird. Rain, no rain, big thunderstorms, red on the radar, nothing happens. It's just Mother Nature's been a fickle bitch this year. Alright, so before we jump in my other mode of transportation for crop scouting, the truck, I just want to say, obviously I've been a smart ass so far in this video, but so for you non-farmers, you farmers are gonna get what I'm picking up and putting down here. Okay, there's a difference between farmers who do YouTube, like I happened to stumble into doing YouTube in my 50s, you know, because of our video of the combine being stuck on the muck there in Thanksgiving of 2019. And Barb had a bunch of shit that she had filmed and pictures and stuff, and she put it out on YouTube for the, I don't know what there was, between 50 and 100 people that helped us get it out over those 2 days. Well, there was probably that many people there. Some were gawkers, others were helpers. So that's how YouTube, the Grumpy Farmer YouTube, became, because it was just under Barb's name to start with. People started subscribing. I didn't know what that meant. Anyways, there's a difference between, like I said, farmers who do YouTube and YouTube farmers. And those of us who fall in the category that have been doing this for 30, 40, 50 years, we see some of the shit that some of these YouTube farmers, especially ones that have been doing it for, you know, like not even a year, do and say. And some of the non-farmers are like, oh, that is so great, you're doing such a great job, you know, and you think that's what farming is, and we just shake our fucking head going, okay, no. Which is why I try and explain everything to you non-farmers. I try to be transparent. I try, because I realize there's probably more of you watching than there is farmers. So, but I guess the moral to my story is, please don't believe everything you see or hear from a YouTube farmer. Okay, put a little more trust into a farmer who happens to do YouTube. And you can tell the difference if you pay attention. Okay, this 35-acre farm is on Dalton Road, so the home farm is that way. My brother's house is up there. This was planted the 13th of May. This right here that you're looking at is a 97-day DeKalb, because I ran out probably halfway through this field and had to switch to a 97-day channel. So, but as you can see, like on the outside, some of these are starting to turn brown. They got kind of a purpley look to them, starting to turn brown. The ones on the outside get more air, more sun, whatnot, so they'll turn faster. But this corn all looks really good. And again, some deer that are being dickheads. So, but yeah. And as I told you, it's the 25th of July. Most all of my corn has been tasseling since probably the 15th, somewhere's in there. So yeah, the whole knee-high by the 4th of July, maybe that was good back in the day, you know, back in Grandpa's day. But I prefer it to be between waist and chest high by the 4th of July, so that it's starting to I've actually had corn tasseling the 4th of July, which is pretty good for here in the Northeast. So, all right, we are over to the 50-acre farm, the one I call the Boot of Italy. That's way down the other end. This is where the test plot was last year. There's 7 acres. These are an Axis 1802, which means a 1.8. Okay, so for you non-farmers, that's the maturity group, a 1.8, which is a fairly early bean. We live in the Northeast. We don't plant late season beans. You know, places down southern part of the United States, they'll plant group 4s, 5s, 6s. But you get out into these, same thing, roughly knee high right now. You can see lots of flowers. They're flowering. A few small pods on the bottom, just starting. We'll go back and look at all this again when they start making pods, just so even non-farmers can see what's going on. Because obviously I like the fact that I have a lot of non-farmers that watch me, and I also like the fact that you want to learn, and I'd rather you learn. I'm not saying I know it all, absolutely not. None of us are too old to ever continue to learn, but I'd rather have you not see the stupid shit and think that that's reality. So, in plain English, Nelson likes my in plain English saying. But these are starting to look pretty good. Trying not to step on beans here. You can see my spray track filling in good. These are probably a little above knee high. Lots and lots of flowers. Oh, that's the purple things. They'll start making pods. There's a little tiny pod right there on the bottom starting to be made. But these look really good. The 25-acre farm down the road looks really good. Try to pick and choose my way through here because drilled beans are fairly thick, obviously, because they're on 7.5-inch rows without stepping on. Every now and then, a volunteer corn. Tis what it is. This is the 25 acres down the road from the Boot of Italy. They look really good. They're flowering. There's a low spot out there. Obviously when we got that heavy rain, water stood there a little bit. But these are a group. He's coming before I pull back out. These are a group 2. 2.1 was the longest season I went. So I went 1.8 to 2.1. So most farmers, and you farmers that are watching, I'm sure will agree, most farmers hope to get between 50 and 60 bushel to the acre beans. You know, closer to 60 the better. You consider that to be a successful. And no, I'm not taking you everywhere today. I got to run to the bank. So I'm going to go down to the farm 4 miles south of us, look at that, and then probably stop with the whole going around looking at things. So, well, actually I might go look at some more corn. I don't know. Anyways, we hope to get between 50 and 60 bushel. Guys, in the farther south you go, like I said, plant longer season, but they still get similar yields. It's just, if we tried to plant a group 4 or group 5 here, it would never get mature enough. That's the problem. So probably if they planted earlier season beans down there, they wouldn't get as good a yield because they would mature too fast. I don't know, to be honest, because that's always puzzled me, how we can get similar yields planting a group 2 to guys that are planting group 4s and group 5s. I mean, it's the growing area. They get more growing degree units, which is your heat units and stuff like that for corn. Beans are basically photosynthesis, which means beans need sunlight. The heat doesn't matter quite as much on beans. No, you don't want it super hot to start with, because you know we're in for some hotter than balls weather the rest of this week. We're supposed to be in the 90s. No, 95 to 100 for, you know, like any amount of days straight isn't really good for your crops. Your crops need to respirate. They need to breathe, just like humans do. You all know what it's like to breathe when it's 95 to 100 degrees or more. So what do you think the crops are like? Especially if the nighttime temperatures are in the 75 to 85 range, because the daytime temperature was, you know, 95 to 100. Try not to get hit crossing the main road here. So, but that's, I don't know, that's part of what my whole bitch is with YouTube and all the non-farmers that listen to some of the YouTube farmers, as I call them, not farmers who do YouTube, and think that, oh, is that how that works? No, it just, no. Alright, this is that farm. These are a Pioneer 1.8, planted May 26th. I can't stay here long because I just passed a town tractor mowing the roadside, so he'll be up here to mow this roadside shortly. Beetles, bastards. I haven't really seen any aphid damage or aphids yet, so that's a good thing. These are starting to flower. These are a little shorter, a little below knee, but they're also planted later. A little thin in a few spots on the headland, but not bad. Looked pretty good. Weed control was good. But I'm going to take you to a field. I don't remember if I filmed it or just talked about it in a video, that I was scared shitless it was never going to come up. I'll show you that here shortly. It's on this farm. Alright, I don't know if I showed this field on a video or just talked about it, but I came to this field and I mean there was nothing here, and you can see right here where I pull into the field, it's a little spotty, but the rest of the field is starting to look pretty good. Obviously these are shorter, these aren't nowhere near knee high, but they are starting to flower. You can see flowers. This was the field where we had gone. Okay, we had the 1 inch in May, and then we had nothing for like the first 12-13 days of June. And then we got 3 inches of rain in a week from that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I was out here and I was pawing with my knife trying to find seeds and whatnot, and I thought, holy shit, this is going to be a disaster. Well, this disaster looks pretty good. You can see some of the tall mare's tail out there that's dead, so the beans will eventually grow taller than them. These are also a Pioneer 1.8, but all in all, the field looks pretty damn good for what it went through. Getting so dry and then getting a heavy rain, which crusted the ground and made the beans struggle to come up. So yeah, but as you can tell, like I said, we're getting, I mean, there's some moisture down there, don't get me wrong, but we're getting to where we need a little more rain. Yes, for you people that would love to make your comments, oh, you fucking farmers, it's either too wet or too dry. Yeah, well, when your paycheck you get every Friday or every other Friday starts depending on the weather, yeah, you might think things a little bit different than what you're thinking now. In the meantime, us farmers will keep complaining about the weather because it's what we make our living on, basically, the weather. So, all right, I'll check a couple more cornfields, and then we're gonna call it good. This is a 96-day Pioneer. Looks good. That's that flat down there that was all clay and struggled to come up. It came up. It's gonna be behind, but it came up. This field over here, because you know all the sumac and shit gets grown up and not mowed, but you can see the tops of the tassels through here. That's a 96 day. That's at 33 acres on the big side hill. That looks really good too. That's a 96 day Pioneer. Both of these are. So pretty basically, you want your corn tasseling before the 1st of August around here, or if it is into August, damn shortly after, if you want it to get to full maturity. It's just like I said, we live in the Northeast. So I'm on my way home from Cato. This corn here, right up the road from the shop, is all some of that Channel 98-day corn. The Channel dealer came out, put up this sign, Channel planted with pride, and this has got the pivot bio on it. Well, I plant everything with pride. Come on. So, like I said, I'm on my way home from Cato. I went over to Mad Moose. Gotta go over there every now and then and just, harass those people. 'Cause it's fun harassing you, Derek, and Kathy, but it's more fun harassing Derek. So, back to the shop now. Alright, plus I wanted to pick up a couple hats. I like the old style hats with the old patches on them. I do have the new style hat, but I like the old style hats, as you can tell, because I'm wearing one. These are the ones that I wear when I'm working. So, alright, I'll probably just call this a video. So, don't forget to go to the Mad Moose apparel site and get yourself some Grumpy Farmer. Oh yeah, hey, I got the t-shirt on too. Get yourself some Grumpy Farmer apparel, because I appreciate it when you do that. So, alright, so here's your one more thing. I'm thinking I'm going to title this video YouTube Farmer or Farmer on YouTube. Alright, so let me clarify too, because, I'll probably piss a few people off, but that's fine. Get in line. But anyways, there's a lot of successful farmers out there who have gotten on YouTube. And there's a lot of them that, we obviously know have made a shit ton of money on YouTube, which is, hey, capitalism. I personally think the YouTube money is going to dry up eventually, because I just think this whole social media thing is, getting a little, you know what I mean. Social media is what it is. I'm thirsty. Drinking my Arnold Palmer. Anyways, but there's also a lot of YouTube farmers. That was what I was trying to stress in this video for you non-farmers. Don't believe everything that you hear or see from a YouTube farmer. So, worst case scenario, watch different farming channels. And yes, we all do things different to a certain extent, but we all do things the same too, because, our job is to put the crop in the ground to the best of our ability. I'll say nurture that crop, fertilize it, weed control, all that to the best of our ability to try and grow the best crop we can to get the biggest yield, to make the most money. And for the anti-farmers, no, we're not raping the ground and all that, because obviously our number one asset isn't those tractors, isn't those combines, planters, any other equipment that we might have on the farm. Our biggest number one asset is right there, our land. So obviously we're not ruining the land when it's the one thing we need the most to make money. I've said this before, I'll say it again, I'm the laziest person you'll ever meet. If I'm done and I can be laying on the couch watching a ball game, that's what I'm going to do. But when there's shit to be done, then get out of the way, because we're going to get the shit done in a timely manner. We're not going to be traveling all around the countryside worrying more about YouTube than getting our crop sprayed or fertilized or whatever. So, all right, now I'm done pissing people off that might see this.